little boy trapped in a spacecraft in outer space. He is traveling to various planets to learn various lessons about life, and his ultimate goal is planet Paradisia, where Alpha Omega, the Lord of Space, is going to help him find his parents. This is our last chapter. It's been great. So far, the little boy has visited Life Force, he's visited Temporite, he's visited Regredium and the Glacier Planet, and last time we read about when he went to Oceania and he found out how Alpha Omega got his name Alpha Omega. Very interesting material. I hope you share this with others. This is copyrighted material, but if you would like a copy of this, please email me at moses43@gmail.com or sidstewart57@gmail.com. So let's read chapter 6. This chapter is called With Planet Paradisia in View, Christian is Home Free, and it's going to teach us that heaven is our ultimate goal. Christian thought his heart rate was speeding along just as quickly as the Eagle transporter. He was dreaming a bit about his fantastic journey throughout space, but also could not wait to see Alpha Omega and his mom and dad. Just think, he has flown through a time warp zone and was hurtled forward into another galaxy where he visited Life Force, Temporite, Regredium, the planet Glacier, and of course the beautiful, unique Oceania. He had fought Natos and shot his way through the adversity asteroid belt, and he would never forget this incredible journey, but he also looked forward to the ending. He would never miss the Glacier Planet and Mr. Iceberg Hermit, and he felt great sorrow for the little Iceman with his cold heart. And while he was thinking about these things, his onboard detection radar shrieked out another warning. Incoming ship! Incoming ship! Warning! 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 And he looked through one of the portals, and there was the black ship destroyer and Natos heading his way again. Although alongside of Natos were two other smaller spaceships called Nomads, and they were heading his direction. Then a familiar, wicked, evil voice crackled through the personified voice resonator. Christian, oh Christian, can you even imagine who this is? Well, Natos was taunting him, and this angered the space cowboy. Christian switched on the cannon blasters and readied himself for another fight. Up ahead he saw Paradisia, but he had to win this fight first. He also opened an emergency weapon container and pulled out 2 ray guns just in case. Natos started the conflict and shot at Christian with his cannon blasters, while the 2 Nomads sped over the Eagle and under the Eagle to get a better shot. Christian saw the Nomad overhead and took aim with his blasters and punched a large hole in the side of his ship. Then he shot again and hit the Nomad on the front cone and sent him spiraling out of control. So much for the first Nomad, Christian thought. Natos took aim again and sent 4 shots heading directly toward Christian. Christian set his automatic avoidance module, and the Eagle darted out of the way with a fast jerk to the left and then another jerk to the right. And the second Nomad positioned himself to blast the Eagle from the side. But Christian opened his portal and took aim with his ray gun and blasted a hole in the side of the Nomad, which damaged his directional cannon. The Nomad was now defenseless and jetted off to another direction to get away. Now, Natos was a smart fighter, but Christian made a big mistake. He decided to call him and try to reason with him. Hey Natos, what do you want? We need to end this now, shouted out Christian. We will end this now, Natos shot back as he sent 2 more shots toward the Eagle. Christian was sidetracked while he was speaking to Natos and took away his focus from the fight. The 2 shots landed square on Eagle's nose, and the Christian spaceship twisted out of control. Paradisia was right below him, and so Christian activated the landing thrusters, and the Eagle once more straightened into an upright position and suffered a hard landing on the surface of Paradisia. The landing gear was smashed, the no cone was also shot to pieces, and the Eagle transporter would never, ever fly again because of the damage. But at least Christian safely arrived. Christian could hardly believe that he was now on Paradisia. The ladder on the side of the Eagle was shot off during the space fight, so Christian opened the module door and then crawled out of the Eagle and landed on the surface with a hard thud. By now, many inhabitants had gathered around the Eagle and were clapping and smiling and shouting out, "Welcome home! Welcome home! So glad to see you!" Well, Christian wondered about this group who welcomed him to Paradisia when he looked up and saw a tall man in a long white robe coming toward him. "Greetings," said the stranger. "I am Alpha Omega, and welcome to Paradisia." Alpha, the Lord of Space, took Christian's hand, clasped it into his own, then he bent down and put both arms around Christian's neck and hugged him. At this, Christian felt a sweet, warm flow through his body, and a feeling of great peace and love enfolded him. Christian, the space cowboy, had endured many hardships while traveling to Paradisia, and began to weep at the feeling of love and completeness. He had completed his journey and would now enjoy the safety provided by the great Alpha Omega, Lord and Master of Space. "Thank you, Mr. Alpha, but where are my parents? How do I get home?" Christian wondered out loud. "Oh, let's not worry about all that right now," suggested Alpha. "Also, Alpha, during my journey, a strange white spaceship came to help me in my battles. Do you have any idea who was in the spaceship?" "Yes, I do. That brave space pilot is one of my servants, and he's known as Legna. He has built a great reputation for himself for his bravery and obedience to the commands I give." "Let me show you around, Christian." Well, Alpha and Christian clasped hands as they looked around Paradisia. From a distance, Christian could see the floating palace with the 4 magnificent waterfalls that poured out from the 4 corners. The grass and trees were greener than any color green Christian had ever seen, and the leaves from the trees were about 10 times larger than the leaves found on Earth. And as Christian walked through the beautiful gardens, he wondered how the leaves grew, for he noticed that Paradisia did not have its own sun. The air was beautifully pure and seemed to strengthen him with each breath he took, and the water glistened like glass in such transparency that Christian had never seen before. Certainly he now knew why they called it Planet Paradisia. Just like on Earth, many types of birds flew overhead, and from a distance Christian noticed a small herd of white horses grazing in a pasture. As he walked through the town called Majestic, Christian saw neat-looking shops like the Heavenly Ham Restaurant and the Blissful Barber Shop and even the Joyful Candy Store. There was also the Rapture Grocery Warehouse, the Delightful Ice Cream Shop with a sign out front that says, "Open all day, everyone is welcome, including children." Christian had so many questions for Alpha that he could not contain himself. He wanted to talk and then listen and talk some more and then listen some more. And he wondered how Mr. Alpha was going to help him get home, but after seeing Paradisia, he was not in such a hurry as before. As he strolled along with Alpha, the pathway took a downhill turn, and Christian could not help himself and fell down and hit his head. Alpha rushed to his side and called his name, "Christian! Christian! Christian!" Well, Christian was not sure how long he was knocked out, that is, but the voice of Alpha seemed to change, and now a lady's voice was saying, "Christian! Christian! Christian!" He looked up, and his mother was over him, calling his name. "Christian, are you okay?" Christian's eyes were wide open now, and he asked his mother, "Mom, where am I and what happened?" "Well, son, your dad called you to get out of bed to go fishing, and you slipped and hit your head on the wooden floor. We were so worried about you, and you kept mumbling the word, 'Alpha, Alpha Omega.' What do you mean by that?" And Christian responded, "Mom, do I have a story for you?" This has been the completion of our story about the little boy named Christian on his space journey. Thank you for joining me. This has been Sid Stewart with a story for little children, actually children of all ages. And if you would like a copy of this, I can email you a copy. Please respond back with an email to moses43@juno.com or sidstewart57@gmail.com, and I'll tell you how you can get a copy of this manuscript to read at a vacation Bible school, children's church, or children's camp, or just in a homeschool setting or any kind of setting in your home. Thank you, and God bless each one, and may you prosper in your journey to planet Paradisia. Thank you.